Derek, good to see you. We're talking Secure Act 2.0, which has finally passed. This will bring a lot of changes to retirement account rules, and we're breaking down the big takeaways, including some unique opportunities and some changes to tax
Yeah.
planning. So again, we've talked about this before. What's new here and who's affected?
Well, it's pretty a broad-ranging change of legislation. It's going to affect many people. It's we're going to have changes to the 529 planning for young families that are planning for their children's college. We're going to have changes coming for RMD distributions for clients that are retiring. We're going to have changes for employees contributing to 401ks and retirement accounts through their working years. So it's affecting a lot.
It affects everyone, kind
It
of,
does.
right? Okay, so let's break
Mhm.
down those big takeaways then. First on my list here, that new RMD age table. What's significant about this?
Yeah, so under the Secure Act 2.0, the big change coming is that they're pushing the required minimum distribution age out. And it's also acronym being RMD. It's simply this. It's the withdrawal that we have to take from deferred tax accounts like 401ks and IRAs. And currently that is set at age 72, which was just pushed back from 70 and a half under the Secure Act 1.0. But that is now getting pushed to 73. So if you're turning 72 this year, you will not have to take an RMD at age 72. It'll get pushed one more year to age 73. And then this act has set up provisions to push that even further back to 75 years of age. And so it is giving people the opportunity to continue to save and also not have to take that taxable income out in the current state.
All right, now let's talk about an interesting change to 529 plans. I think this one is your most favorite, right, Derek?
Love
Yes.
529s as we've talked off camera. So one of the big changes we've discussed is that I love 529 planning for the sheer fact that you can put money away, and depending on the state in which you live, you could also get a state income tax deduction for putting those funds away. And those funds then can be used for college, higher education, vocational technical schools, even for private school for middle school and high school for students. But with the Secure 2.0 Act changes that have come, the biggest change here is answering the same question that I get from everyone. And Erin, we've had this off camera and you've asked the question, well, what happens if it's not all used? Then what happens? What happens if they go on scholarship and those funds aren't needed? Well, under the Secure 2.0 Act, they are allowing up to $35,000 per beneficiary, per child, to be rolled over to an IRA, a Roth IRA, even better, for that beneficiary. So if I have my child going to school and there is a remaining balance finished when they're finished with school, up to 35,000 can be rolled over to a Roth IRA in the future. And then you have a college grad or a college grad age child now with a huge block of savings set aside tax-free. And you know, I love Roths, now growing tax-free for their future. I can't think of a better solution and a better idea for 529s than this.
I've got to say, this makes it a lot more attractive to me. It's nice to have that answer at the ready too for clients who ask what happens then.
It's
So
awesome.
now let's break down those 401k opportunities. This affects a lot of people.
It does. So there's some big changes. We're still waiting to see all the details on it, but the 401k changes, they've made some changes for emergency access to 401ks. So they're allowing some emergency distributions once per year up to, I think, $1,000 if you're putting money away and you needed access to those funds. That's one big change that is coming, one of the flexible benefits that are included in this legislation. The other thing that's coming is that they are looking at the contribution levels of Roths, meaning they're allowing employers to potentially match dollars inside of the Roth. I'm not sure how that's going to completely pan out yet, but it's certainly something we're going to watch. And then the last part is mandatory enrollment. They're going to have, I think it's in 2024, I'll double check dates, but I think it's 2024 that they're going to mandate employers that you are automatically enrolled into the plan with an automatically small contribution, and that's going to be geared up every year. So that's going to be a huge change for people that maybe thought, well, I'm not sure if there's a 401k available or should I be contributing to it. So that change is going to make it mandatory, and that's going to help a lot of families put some money away for retirement planning.
So how do we incorporate these changes into our tax planning then?
Well, it's going to it really, the tax planning part is going to affect almost everyone. So
Mhm.
working with an advisor and sitting down and planning out the RMD changes to see how you can better take advantage of those. With the pushback in RMDs, you could be looking at Roth conversions. You could be looking at the opportunity of structuring income differently because of the delay. It could allow you to work a little bit longer and put a little bit more away with the delay in RMDs. With 529s, if you're planning and have younger children or even teenage children, with these changes, I think it makes it almost impossible not to look at 529 plans and how they can benefit that next generation. So there's a lot. I think it goes across the entire spectrum for tax planning,
Mhm.
and the effects from this legislation.
Mhm. I want to circle back real quick to
Mhm.
RMDs because we've now mentioned them several times. And so by delaying the RMDs,
Yeah.
we are essentially creating a larger account balance at the time of death. And Congress stripped the lifetime stretch IRA rules. So now almost all beneficiaries must drain that account within 10 years. And that is quite the tax burden.
It is. So inherently, as an advisor, I am absolutely for the thought of utilizing those retirement accounts while you're living. Meaning, we've
Mhm.
talked in other videos about taking RMDs earlier, taking income out of those tax deferred 401ks and IRAs for many reasons. Number one, it gives you a nice level playing field for tax planning. Two, truly at the end of the day, the 401ks and IRAs, the tax deferred side, not the Roth, the tax deferred side, are probably the least desirable asset to be inherited by that next generation because of the IRS rules saying that that has to come out within 10 years, but also because they're completely taxable at both the state and the federal level. Where Roth, brokerage accounts, non qualified investment, cash savings, homes, many of those things can be passed on to the next generation, potentially tax free, or get a very nice step up in cost basis. So they have a very small tax repercussion, where those retirement accounts, completely taxable. So my idea is always using those IRAs and plan with them first. Protect the other assets, not only for yourself in the future for tax benefits, but also for the next generation.
Absolutely. It's all about your
Mhm.
legacy as well.
It
Derek,
is.
it was really helpful to talk this through. Clearly, some, advanced math going on in here. If
A
somebody
little bit.
wants to talk through these changes and how they affect them or how they can take advantage of some of these opportunities, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, they can reach out directly to the office, 703-273-2326, or they can go directly to contact us through the website at 3leaffinancial.com.
All right. Very easy. Derek, thank you very
Perfect.
much.
Thanks, Aaron. Have a great day.